Now, this issue that we run into is more commonly found in larger organizations with multiple research administrative departments where there's a culture of late submissions rather than an organization that has their deadlines on lockdown with just a few people who struggle with meeting the deadlines. So you're not going to have a cultural problem if there's just a couple of people doing this. But if you have like late grants are chronic, then you're going to have a cultural problem. The first is going to be that a submit at all cost rule institutionalizes a culture of last minute scrambling and crisis management. And then that permeates in other areas of the organization. There's a lot of high impact, critically time sensitive items related to already funded grants that have to get shelved because the deadline is all. So often there's this expectation that when the submission is over, the RA will go back and just pick up where they left off on whatever it was that is highly sensitive that needed to get taken care of that is post-award management. But there is a lot lost during the context switching at this level. And in order to maximize the expertise that we bring to the table, we actually need to be able to manage our energy, our workflow, and our time appropriately without the fear of a last minute grant or 10 last minute grants derailing some very, very important work that needs to get done to maintain post-award fiscal compliance. Another cultural issue that happens is staff and faculty begin to accept inefficiency and low quality work as the norm because each person feels like they have no choice but to do just the best they can and then hope for the best. I cannot tell you how defeated some people sound when they talk about grants. Like it is really, it's heartbreaking, right? I'm talking about fellows, PIs, RAs, and their direct managers. There is a general feeling of resignation that comes when nothing changes and deadlines aren't enforced that completely demoralizes your workforce and discourages investigators from submitting and RAs from even staying in the field. When deadlines are optional and rules aren't enforced, employees at all levels feel less compelled to adhere to any standards. And the lack of accountability creates a ripple effect where other policies, practices, and initiatives are then also ignored. And then at a certain point, the culture becomes whatever, nobody cares anyway. And once that happens, I'll be honest, it's actually time for a complete overhaul. Just recently, we heard of an entire research department that turned over in the span of just a few weeks or months as a direct result from this kind of culture problem.